Salam yogis. My name is Guru Dharam Singh. I'm from the UK, currently living in Sweden, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about the Slok of Japji. First of all, Slok. Slok is a literary term that refers to a rhyming couplet or a series of rhyming couplets. It's used throughout Indian classical literature, Hindu literature, Jain literature, Sikh literature. In a spiritual context, it refers specifically to a verse that has spiritual import and spiritual impact. This is very important because there are only two sloks in Japji. The first is the Mul mantra. The Mul mantra, of course, is the root mantra. It contains the seed mantra, Sat Nam, and from this root and this seed grow the entirety of Sri Guru Granth Sahib, an entire spiritual magnum opus. Now, the Mul mantra is the first thing in Japji, and therefore it simply tells you how to do it. It says Jap, repeat this. When we do this, we learn everything that is in the subsequent puris. We become familiar with their meaning. They teach us. The slok at the end is kind of like, look, if you haven't got it already, then listen to this, and the essence of the teaching of Japji about the structure of the world and our place in it is in here. It is a kind of deep crash course in yogic knowledge. First line, Pavan Guru Pani Pita Mata Darat Mahat. This means literally, air is the Guru, water is the father, and earth is the great mother. So we're talking about the elements. We're talking about the three elements, air, water, and earth. The first two words, Pavan Guru, contain an entire teaching in themselves. Pavan Guru, the air is the Guru. Well, the air can become a Guru when we practice conscious breathing. What is conscious breathing? Conscious breathing is yoga. When our relationship with the breath is at that kind of level, then it's not simply about tidal flow and oxygen sustaining life. It is about developing a relationship with the oxygen and its essence, the prana, in which the reality that prana is the energy that makes the atom move becomes our direct experience. Inspiration, imprints, blueprints, all of this is implicit in the idea of Pavan Guru. Pani Pita, water is the father. Well, indeed it is. We are whatever, 75% water, and that water element includes all the different manifestations of water, more pure and less pure in our body. So this would include the more impure end, urine, sweat, which we'll come back to later, lymph, the blood, and then the purest of the fluid, the ojas. The ojas is the kind of biochemical matrix of the cerebrospinal fluid that determines the level of Shakti energy that you can hold. Earth is the mother. The mother nourishes, the mother sustains, the mother gives form to everything. And so this line is a kind of tells us very directly and succinctly what the nature of our relationship with these primary elements should be and could be. Day and night are two nurses, two kind nurses, in which Kele Sagal Jagata, the whole world, plays. So now we're moving from elements to polarity, another key yogic principle, the polarity of day and night, yang and yin, if you like, positive and negative, or Pingala and Ida. All are subject to the law of polarity. This is the price of admission. If we want to come into the membrane that surrounds the earth and be part of the Leela, the play of life here on earth, we have to obey the law of polarity, and that is we are all subject to the law of polarity. And this is extended into the next line, Chungyaya Buddhaya Vache Dharam Hador. Good deeds and bad deeds, Vache, are recorded by or are recorded in the presence of Dharam Hador, the Lord of the Dharma, aka Dharam Raj. What does this mean? Well, it simply means we take action, and we can identify that actions being good or bad. Yogically speaking, do our actions promote or demote our spiritual progress? Vache Dharam Hador. Our actions are recorded, and they're recorded in the ether. Just like what we say goes straight into the ether. What we think, what we do, all of this becomes part of our file that has great significance in terms of what happens into the next line. Kami apoapni kenere kedur. The actions of ourself all draw us near or far. Kenere kedur, near or far. So we go from this idea of our good deeds and bad deeds creating karma in action. And that these actions, these choices, draw us closer, or are an expression of our yogi self, or are an expression of our ego self. These choices then create and place us in a tantric web of cause and effect. Think of this as being like the longitude and latitude that psycho-spiritually we create in our own life, that kind of determine a trajectory through time. Jininam Dhyaya Gamasakadagal. Those who meditate leave, depart from home with the sweat of their brow. So this trajectory comes from an initial intention. Intention creates projection. Projection creates movement. Movement creates momentum. And that momentum is a trajectory through life there or there, depending on the choices you have made and your own karmic narrative. When we make the choice to meditate, then what happens? Nanakatema Kujale, Nanak, their faces are radiant. Kete Chuti Nala, in the court of the divine, they are saved with many more. So when we raise our frequency and our vibration, then that gives us presence. And that presence and that radiance is like a kind of spiritual GPS that guides us through the etheric trace to the court of the divine. So this process of purification, of elevation, of saibang, self-illumination, has an effect around us to others, our family, our friends, our yoga scene. And together, they are drawn to us, to our energy, and they themselves they come with us. This is going into the fourth wall of yoga: body, mind, spirit. Fourth wall: community, sangha, sangat. That's the 7 generations, the ripple effect of what happens when we do practice. And this is the kind of cleanup. We cleanse ourselves, and that kind of purification practice attracts others. They come with us. Now, this is why these few lines of Japji tell us so much about the simple realities of us being here. But far more important than anything I've said is the sound current. Exquisite. Thank you all for your attention. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam.
Salok. Pavan Guru Pani Pita Mata Tarat Mahat Divas Raat Doi Dai Daya Khele Sagal Jagat Changiaya Buryaya Vacha Dharm Hadur Karmi Apo Apani Ke Nere Ke Dur Jinni Naam Te Aaya ਗਏ ਮਸਕਤ ਕਾਲ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲੇ ਕੇਤੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਨੀ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ ਗਏ ਮਸਕਤ ਕਾਲ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲੇ ਕੇਤੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਨਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।